Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Today, Justin Trudeau, the little potato, became a mashed potato, and he announced that he intends to resign. He didn't say that he was going to resign, which leaves a huge question mark. There's a lot to this, to what happened today. So I have a bunch of little snippets that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to keep you informed with as much as I can when I can as the days progress. He prorogued government, okay? Put everything on hold. Canada is leaderless right now at a time we are vulnerable right now, at a time when we need to be united with a strong leader. He should have called an election. He should have called an election. Who cares if he resigns? Here's the thing. It's not the Liberal Party of Canada. When Justin Trudeau was placed there in 2015, it became the Liberal Wedding Party of Canada. You can't replace Justin Trudeau with another Justin Trudeau. They're all the same. Essentially, in 2015, when he was placed there to save the Liberal Party, they actually destroyed the Liberal Party. They don't have policy. They have nothing. This party, the Liberal Wedding Party, is doomed because of their shit policy the last 9-10 years. Okay? That is what created the hard times in Canada. It wasn't Justin Trudeau. It was, but it was his policy. You can put anybody you want there. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants what he is selling. We need an election. Let's get into this. The headlines today are phenomenal. It's like everybody can finally say what they want and don't have to worry about the thought police coming after him. Justin Trudeau resigned too late. There is no salvaging the Liberal Wedding Party now. This is exactly right. You cannot salvage it. It is done. He will not have party status. The Liberal Party will not. It is going to be decimated. I won't be surprised if in the coming months, even the NDP are so angered with Jugmeat, they're just going to vote Conservative to just get rid of those people. Nobody wants to look at them or deal with them. Continuing on. Tasha Carridin, I hope I'm saying that right. Justin Trudeau goes out blaming and betraying Canadians one more time. Yes. We're going to watch a small clip with Justin Trudeau, my favorite part. We're going to dive into that in a sec. In a classic narcissistic fashion, Trudeau on Monday blamed his party and everyone else for his problems. Would you expect anything else from him? No, of course not. He is a narcissistic psychopath. Listen to this. This is my favorite part right here. He has no idea what he has done to this country. He actually thinks he's done a good job. All I think of with this Trudeau Liberal Wedding Party is what a colossal waste of time. What a waste of 9 years of our time. Nothing was accomplished. And all I can think of is how divided and broken this whole country is. I am talking about the crime, the drugs, the tent towns, the suicide rate of children hooked on his free drug program, our healthcare, education, our housing, our international reputation, all of it. The only thing that I can hear of and I see online is people say he legalized weed. Woo-hoo. We had all that anyway, and the rollout was botched. It's stupid. The taxes we pay now, it is just such a waste of time, and it's not even done yet. He didn't call an election. There's more to come. Seriously. Listen to Mashed Potato.
We got elected in 2015 to fight for the middle class. And that's exactly what we've done over the past years. We reduced their taxes. We increased the benefits to families. We made sure the economy was focused on working for everyone and not just a few. And that has changed. That has dropped poverty rates in Canada. That has brought more people into the workforce. That has moved us forward on reconciliation in a way that has deeply improved the opportunities and success of Canadians despite the incredibly difficult times the world is going through right now. There's lots more work to be done, and I know that this party and this country and Canadians will keep doing it. If I have one regret, particularly as we approach this election, well, there are probably many regrets that I will think of. But I do wish that we'd been able to change the way we elect our governments in this country so that people could simply choose a second choice or a third choice on the same ballot, so that parties would spend more time trying to be people's second or third choices, and people would have been looking for things they have in common instead of trying to polarize and divide Canadians against each other.
That was his game plan all along. He knew that he couldn't get rid of pass the post system because it works so well to divide everybody, divide and conquer. That's what he is. That's what he will be remembered as, the guy that divided Canadians for his own selfish political interests. Don't forget that in 2015, China helped get Justin Trudeau elected. There's still foreign election interference investigations going on. You think of all of the scandals. He lost $1 trillion. Lost $1 trillion. It is astounding what Justin Trudeau and his Liberal wedding party has done to this once great country. This is the response from the best premier in Canada, Danielle Smith. She says, at this critical time, Canadians need and deserve a prime minister and federal government with a clear mandate, one, from the Canadian people to negotiate with the incoming United States president and his administration on one of the most important international negotiations we have ever faced as a country. The Liberal Party has no such mandate from Canadians, and they are putting their selfish political interests ahead of the Canadian people by paralyzing Parliament and suspending democracy for months while they fight a divisive internal leadership contest. We need an election. It is one of the most irresponsible and selfish acts of a government in Canadian history. We call on all federal parties and MPs to force an election at the first available opportunity and give Canadians the opportunity to pick a party and a leader to represent their interests at this critical time for our nation. Here she is. Here's Danielle Smith.
We're a lot more optimistic about this plan going ahead with the new administration and their outlook coming in. That's part of the reason for this announcement.
With the Prime Minister announcing his resignation this morning, it's something you've called for many months. You've called for an election almost immediately. It looks like that might come in May. Do you believe with this announcement today, ramping up production, that your fight with Ottawa is slowly winding down?
I would say that I have been calling for an election. Whatever internal dynamics the Liberal Party has to go through to get to that point is kind of up to them. But I would have preferred today to see an election call, because I don't think 2 months delay is going to make any bit of difference to how Canadians are looking at this administration. Why do we need an election? We need an election so that whoever is in the chair has a 4-year mandate. And so when we go to negotiate with the United States, there's some certainty about who the players are going to be at the table. So I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't get an election call today. I think that would have been the better outcome, and it would have allowed for the Prime Minister to go to the public and see whether or not they support his agenda of the last number of years. I think the polling results suggest that's not the case. So we're putting this forward, hoping that it becomes a topic of discussion through the leadership race as well as through the general election. We want a willing and supportive partner with the federal government. It would certainly be nice to have a federal government that wasn't looking at ways of continuing to shut down production and stand in the way of this kind of progress. And so optimistically, we hope whoever emerges successful when this is over is going to be able to keep pace with the kind of production we want to do in Alberta.
Nobody wants what he is selling.
Adam McVicker with Global News. Premier, how does today's announcement maybe line up with some of the conversations you've had with folks in the U.S., just given the incoming administration's kind of tariff threats? We're still unsure what those tariffs would include.
I'm very concerned. I think from what I am reading on social media and elsewhere, the U.S. president seems intent on putting tariffs in place. And so we're in a position now where we've got a lame duck leader with no immediate plans to leave, with no resolution to who is going to be the bargaining partner until, I think it was suggested, as late as May. So I believe it's up to myself, the other premiers, to make the case to the Americans ourselves in the absence of federal leadership. And so that's why I'm going to the inauguration. I'll be staying there for 4 or 5 days. I hope to be able to put forward the case that I made today about how we are the Americans' best friend and trading partner. We can provide the resources that they need to be successful, and that we are also their biggest consumer. We buy $293 billion worth of products from the United States, which is more than Germany, the UK, Italy, France, and Vietnam combined. So shouldn't be in the line of sight of the U.S. president. So I would hope that we'll be able to make that case, but it is not helpful having so much uncertainty in who's going to be at the negotiating table. That's why I still think that there should be an election. Let's get that solved sooner rather than later so we can get on with these important discussions.
Yeah, we need an election. One thing I noticed today is there's a whole bunch of different types of media, politicians. Just the buzz. The buzz is calling Justin Trudeau a lame duck leader. I think that's really going to stick, and that's what he's going to be until he just calls an election. Just call an election already. Our premiers are all bonding together because they are terrified about these tariffs. You know what? I don't really think they're terrified about the tariffs. They're scared of the tariffs for sure. I think they're terrified that Justin Trudeau isn't going to do anything to push back because he's a lame duck leader. It's like Doug Ford. I got the video clip here. We're going to watch it. He says prorogation doesn't mean vacation. Like he is saying, like, Justin, you got to get serious about this. And I think they know that Justin Trudeau doesn't care. He's never taken anything seriously, which is why we are where we're at. He is so irresponsible in the way that he resigned that he doesn't care about the Canadian people, the country, democracy. He only cares about himself and still having control, even over the leadership race. He knows he's done if he calls an election right away, so he just wants to drag this out, hoping for the best. Here's Doug Ford.
Minister has said that he was going to step down as Prime Minister. But that doesn't mean he's no longer Prime Minister for the next month or 2 months. We need the Prime Minister to focus 100% on the U.S. tariffs. We have 14 days left before elect President Trump gets inaugurated, and we need to focus to make sure these tariffs don't move forward, and if they do move forward, we need to make sure that the federal government has a strong plan. The Prime Minister said he'd sit down with all the premiers, face-to-face meeting. I still want to hold him to that promise. He still will be Prime Minister for a month, maybe 2 months, but that has to be his number one focus. We have a great group of premiers. As chair of the Council of Federation, reaching out to the premiers to get together as early as this week to have a conversation and make sure that we are ready to support the federal government in this time of uncertainty at the federal level. But I can assure you, we have a strong group of premiers. We're going to continue moving this country forward, continue moving Ontario forward, and making sure that we have a seat at the table when the discussions of the tariffs are placed against Canada. And hopefully that won't happen, but we need all hands on deck. We need the Prime Minister to continue doing his job. Prorogation doesn't mean vacation. It means continuing moving forward as the Prime Minister as long as he holds that title.
We need to learn from Justin Trudeau and completely reform government. Like, seriously, all roads lead to Western independence. I'd much rather just have provincial independence with a union. Completely dissolve the federal government because it is just so systemically corrupt. Doesn't matter who the talking head is. They won't be able to change anything unless they have a chainsaw and really start firing people and destroying departments that the ultra corrupt liberal NDP wedding party has created for Canada. There should be something put in place where we can get rid of a prime minister. It's obvious there isn't. It is unbelievable that all they can do is just talk and threaten a tiny bit to get rid of somebody that clearly nobody wants there. It is unreal. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care. This truly is astounding. The more I think about it and the position that Canada is placed in right now, you know, considering what we used to be to what we are now, it's like a meme. How it started, how it ended. It's just like I was saying before. Justin Trudeau is just a complete waste of time. He is a stain on Canadian history. He will always be remembered. He will always be remembered as his father's son that is just a complete and utter failure at everything he does. I don't even know what he's going to do next. He's probably going to be like a reality TV star. Maybe he'll be on Canada's Drag Race or something like that. Follow me on Substack and Spotify and YouTube. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.